Greetings and hallucinations, ladies and lads. I am Chancellor of the harmonious frequencies of the mighty empire of Onion, and this is 1 hour, 1 life. Well, I was asked a couple of episodes ago if I would do a blacksmithing tutorial, and so I have decided that I will. We'll see what we can get done in that. I know for sure that there is a content update recently released that involves stone roads, rail carts, rails to go on the ground for the rail carts to travel across, etc., etc. The stone roads allow you to walk 1.5 times as fast, which is very significant, especially if you're having to run a long way for water or rabbits or anything, really. Cutting down trees, that kind of thing. So yeah, lots of interesting new content, but this episode will strictly be the blacksmithing tutorial, and so that's all we're going to be covering in this one. Hopefully I will have some of the new content recorded in the next video today. So let's get to it. Okay, here we are. Yeah, we should be fine for right now. So, one of the first things that you have to know about whenever you are trying to blacksmith is that it takes a forge. That much is pretty self-evident, I would say. What some people may not know is that the forge is the kiln with an extra part added on. And so to make a kiln, of course, you need 3 adobe. So you may be asking yourself, why do I have 4 adobe? The 4th adobe is for covering up the kiln while it's burning so that you can make charcoal. And the charcoal is the fuel that you use for the forge. Okay, so we're just going to take this 4th one and set it to the side. So we can see here this is an adobe kiln. Wonderful. There are a couple of tools that you need. Of course, we have to have fire starting materials. So we're going to need a couple of short shafts. We're also going to end up needing some stakes. Let's come up here. Oh, I noticed something too. How did it work? I clicked on myself earlier and it revealed the item behind my head. I'm not exactly sure how it happened. Oh, wasn't it? Interesting. I thought it was a new feature, but maybe it was just a glitch or something. Okay. So we need a fire bow drill. Let's just drop it there. And of course by now you probably know that you only want to pick milkweed out in the wild if it's fruiting like this, so that way you get the seeds out of it. Okay, so we have 2 ropes. We're going to use one on this and a short shaft on this to make the fire bow drill. You probably know this one. There's a tied short shaft, and we're going to use the sharp rock on it to make a stone hatchet. We're going to need another sharp rock, so I'll just go ahead and make one right now. And let's be sure to devour some foods, I'd say. That'll work. Let's go for both of these, as a matter of fact. Okay, so I personally, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I highly prefer to use yew logs or yew branches for my kindling. So we will get a little bit of kindling going. I'll bring this one over here, and then we need one for the kiln. I'll have to rearrange this. So when it comes to kindling, sometimes you can't always get to a yew branch. That's perfectly acceptable. My second go-to item for kindling is the curved branch. They are a little bit less useful than the maple branches, even though they still do have their uses. One of the advantages of trying to use them for kindling, however, is that you can clean them up, and they make the curved shafts like we saw to make the fire bow drill. And then you can put 3 of those curved shafts into a basket, and then you can make kindling out of them. So it's one of the only portable kindling items that you can make. Okay, so there we go with the tinder from the juniper tree. We get a leaf from this maple. If I can select it instead of the wall behind it. Alright, so if you've never made a fire before, it's real easy. Right, straight shaft, replace with the leaf with a right click. Get it, drop it on, both of those are left clicks. And we right click to replace that. Bam, we have a fire. Okay, that was bad timing. I shouldn't have done that already. We need a few things first. Okay, so, yeah, before I had started that, I should have gotten out the clay. We need 6 pieces of clay for 3 bowls and 3 plates. You can do more if you want, but I found that 3 is a pretty easy number to keep up with and to consistently cook up, I should say. These will be used for your crucibles for making steel. Okay, so 1 hit is a bowl, 2 hits is a plate. We can grab 3 of each. We will also need 1 more clay. Let's come up here. And what we're going to do is combine the skewer with the clay. And this makes a wet clay nozzle. This is ideal. Let's bring this over here. Yeah. I see that we still have the tinder over there, but it's fine. We're going to need to make a lot more. Alright, and one other thing I hadn't done properly yet is to make a snare for the rabbits, because we will need 1 rabbit skin. Let's bring this over here. Oh, here's 2 more plants actually. Okay, we'll combine those with the stakes, and we'll come down here and trap. You only want to ever trap rabbit family holes. You can see here, rabbit family holes. It's always the one with the babies, otherwise they won't come back. Most people know that by now, but in case you don't, there it is. Okay, so now I think we're ready for this. No, not quite. We need this one. And we need one of these flint chips to be used on that. Okay, now we have to use this firebrand before it goes out. Let's go here. It's just a right click to drop them on the ground. You have to have an empty spot though, otherwise she will replace it with other things. We should have more than enough time to get these 7 items completed. I can't remember the most that I've done before, but I was thinking it was closer to like 12. Then we want to place the adobe on the front there. I'll go ahead and light this up to keep the fire going. Fire is the lifeblood of any village, especially now with all the various cooking options. There's never any good reason to have a fire go out. At least one person should always be consciously working on it to keep it going. Okay, so let's grab this rabbit then. We are going to need to skewer this rabbit, and we are going to need to cook it in a short amount of time. Let's open this up, get the basket, drop this over here. Okay, that'll be fine. And now that these are cooked up, I can rearrange them in a way that makes sense to me. This will be fine. Okay, let's go ahead and cook this rabbit. Just in time too, because I am starting to get hungry. Take that, get the bone out. No more kindling around, that's fine. We'll go light this up. We'll get this. Okay, so we have a bone. We need to cut the bone with a flint chip. This gives us a needle. We'll put that back. Okay, let's get some thread. Okay. So with a needle and thread, we'll combine those. We'll come down here with the 4 cut rabbit fur. That gives us a water pouch. You may be asking yourself, what do we need a water pouch for? Well, it's not for water. I can tell you that much. Here's my sharp stone. Okay, so we're going to come down here, and you may say, oh, we have tongs already, but if you combine the tongs with the water pouch, we get the untipped bellows. You grab the tip in your hand and put it on there, and now you have the whole thing. So that's all it takes to turn a kiln into a forge, is to have these bellows here. And you have to be careful. Sometimes you will have griefers who try to hide the things from you, and so just be aware of that. Check behind trees, the tops of trees. My most recent experience, it was behind a yew tree like this, so just be aware. Okay, so this is the first step in getting steel ready. You want to have this charcoal in your crucibles, preferably. There we go. And this is toasted, so let's replace this here. And the first thing we're going to do is light this up. Grab one piece here, put it on the rock, and we need a round stone around. Around, ha ha ha. And we'll do this one. Same thing. Just hit it with a rock, and then this third one. Come on. We'll hit it with a rock. Come on, drop it, please. Wow, I'm having a rough time clicking on things for some reason today. Okay, so I was able to get 4, so if you wanted to make 4 crucibles, that would totally be something that's reasonable to do. Because you can see you can make that many at a time. I try to be sure that I'm going to have enough time to make as much as I plan. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes I'm a little bit slow. Sometimes there's a lot of people around and they get in front of us. So that doesn't help anything. Alright, so we're going to need some more charcoal, of course. So yeah, then we just put the iron in here. I'll go ahead and move this one up. This one can hide right there. And we'll seal them up with the plate. So now these are sealed, unforged crucibles. I'll put this one up here. And no matter what I'm doing at the forge, I almost always cook the crucibles first because it's quick and easy. It doesn't take hardly any time at all. Okay. So let's just do this. Grab this. Okay, now we'll do this again. Okay, so now we've got firebrand here. Tongs really should be where it is. This up here. There we go. Alright, so we're using up these branches like crazy. This is to be expected. It happens all the time when you're blacksmithing. Until you get to a little bit of higher tech level where you have the axe built and stuff. So you have firewood laying around and all that. Okay, so we got some more charcoal coming. Let's get this steel out of here so that we can work with it. Perfect. And then we can take these iron ingots and drop them into the bowls just like we did before. We can use this charcoal for the next batch of crucibles. There's nothing wrong with that. And then we'll just make another batch. Okay, so you can see that we are out of curved branches. As a very last resort, here we are using maple branches for kindling. It's an absurdity, but it's necessary for now. Okay. Let's drop this on here. I am going to have to travel back and grab some more branches soon enough. I still want to see how I got that item to appear from behind my head. I'm curious. Okay, so we have 3 sealed crucibles here. Oh, I see firewood outside already. That's an interesting sign. That means somebody else has recently completed the tutorial. If you didn't know, heading north, apparently, is where you have to go to see other people. As new people spawn in, they spawn towards the north. So that's just in case you want to check it out. Okay, this next part feels like a little bit of a waste sometimes when you do it, because there's only one thing that you can make right now, and that is the smithing hammer. Okay, we'll go ahead and replace this. And so, of course, we have our crucibles ready. So I will be making the forged crucibles here. There we go. So we've got more steel to work with. We take one of these. We're going to torch that, drop it on here, and hit it with the round rock. There's no sense in heating these up because you can't make anything else with the round rock and the steel. So this burns on and goes out. Then we have to make a new batch of charcoal to get the next batch of tools. But it's perfectly fine. That's just the way the game is. Yeah, if you have a hard time putting it in there, just make sure that the bellows are detached. Kindling will not go in to the forge, only the kiln. Okay, so we've got that going now. We need a short shaft. We'll combine this with the hammerhead. Right here. So now we have the smithing hammer. I'd like it for it to be down there. Place this here, and we can actually open these up. I forgot about that. So now we're ready to start making tools. And so you may ask, what are the first tools I need to be making? It always depends on your village. It's very subjective. I would say it's likely the shovel is number 1. Because by the time you get to this point, you've probably been farming a little bit. And so you have probably been using water sources out of the duck ponds, goose ponds, and they are probably depleted significantly. So a shovel is number 1, so that you can make wells. A hoe is usually number 2. In this example, we're not going to do that. We're not going to make a hoe because it doesn't make any sense since we're not in a village. But in a village, a hoe is definitely a priority. Okay, so there's the hoe. There's the chisel, adze, froe, file, blade, and then the shovel. You want to be aware of the order that they're in because you can't go back. And you want to try to stay calm as much as you can while you're doing this. So that you can focus and see what's going on. Okay, we'll go with the adze there. So we have an axe here. We have a shovel as well. And these 2 items in this scenario are what's going to get us out. So if I come over here and I get the get a couple of straight shafts, we can make the handles for these items. So there's the axe. Here is the shovel. And I'm going to make this last branch into kindling real quick so that I can save this fire. There we go. And then, if we chop down this tree, wham, we can stack the firewood here. We can use the butt log there. We can actually take this firewood and go ahead and put it on the fire, so that we don't have to worry about it as much. The shovel, we can dig the stump. So far as I know, yeah, the only thing you use stumps for is kindling, so we will. We'll come up here, put it in here, and get that cooking already. Okay, so that's ready to go. We have the adze. If you don't know what this is for, it is for the fence kits. It is also for making the mallet, which you use with the froe in order to make boards. You can also use the mallet, I believe, with the stone chunks when you're using the chisel. And I will try to get to that. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Gonna grab a couple of more branches. There we go. We have the adze. Or adze, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation of it is. I just call it the adze because it's one syllable instead of two. Pretty sure I heard somebody eat just a moment ago. Oh, I didn't need that one. Okay. We're going to put this in the basket and we're going to head north. I want to see if they've opened up this next area. Or if they're just digging around. Oh, this area is closed and there is iron to be had in there. You know what? I should leave my basket, as a matter of fact. So I will. Let's grab a temperature. Not quite. Too high. Too low. It doesn't matter. We have a good amount of firewood and several butt logs too, so that's good. Whoa. Some serious lag there. Let's try again. Okay, so we'll need both. Let us... Yeah, let's do, because we need that iron. What about south? Because if somebody's already come through this area here, they're not going to need their iron. I left that basket up north, but it's fine. Let's take one of these back. We can make another basket just as easy down here. It's perfectly fine. Okay. So I imagine this fire is going to be going out pretty soon. Nope. Keep that on, please. Okay. Aha! Somebody built a wall inside here? That's hilarious. They were clearly exploring construction options, which I'm interested in knowing how to make a stone road. That sounds super interesting to me. So that's something I'll look into in a future episode for sure. But there's definitely a lot more tools to be made, so we're not done here by any by any means. Okay, try to decide what's the best next course of action. Oh no! This has already died down that far. So we have to have kindling to bring it back to life. Wake me up inside. Okay. Perfectly fine. There we go. What are you doing? Taking your shoes off? I just wanted to grab the basket. There we go. Wow. I'm misclicking like mad right now, which is not ideal. Okay. Let's put this over here. We're done with the round rock for now. We can put it there. This little feller can go right there. That'll be fine. And we need more. Okay, so while that's cooking up, there's a couple more things that we need. One is a bow and arrow. I saw that there was a U shaft over here already, so we'll come in and check that out. He didn't use up the string either, so we have plenty of plants here for making a rope. Okay. There we've got a boat. I love the sound that it makes. It's hilarious. Oh, there's the poor soul right there. I've only just noticed. With a grass skirt on too, no less. Fancy. This person really had their own idea of what they wanted to do when they got to this point. Okay, so we'll make that into a tied shaft. Perfectly fine. And we need a goose. Any one goose will do. Don't step on that, please. Okay. I wasn't scared. It just startled me. I imagine they had access to flint chips around here, but I don't see where they've made off with them. Okay. Unless they hid them somewhere. Okay. We'll just have to take these on then. Up north. To our original base. Do we want to take another iron? I don't think so. I think we have enough. You know what I think we need though? Is some more kindling. So I hope this is making sense so far. The shovel is number 1 as far as tools that need to be made. So that's something definitely memorable. Okay. So how are we doing here? We need to refine these for forging, and then I would like to make a froe, if we can do that all in one go. Okay, and you can use the smithing hammer on these just like you did the round rock before to make the ingots. Smithing hammer and the round rock works the same for that. You just can't make tools with the round rock, except for the smithing hammer. Okay, so we can do this, we can replace that, we can take this off, put that there, and now we can make a froe. There's one, and it's out, so we don't have anything left there. Okay, so now we need to find some more firewood. It was right around here, wasn't it? Yeah. run this back in. Done. Oh man, right when it went out. That's fine though. Our fire is still going strong. And I'm deadly serious about fires being the lifeblood of a village. If there isn't a fire tender in your village, there really should be. And if they don't have one fire going, they should have several. Go ahead and pop that one off. It requires a short shaft in order to work. Oh, I already forgot about the goodies there. The bow and arrow. We will need that though. Alright. So we get us a short shaft onto there, and now we have the froe. So you take the adze, you hit a butt log with it, and that gives you the mallet. And the froe and the mallet work together to make boards out of other butt logs. Okay, so this flint chip you use to cut the feather, and that fletching goes on to the arrow first. And then you can use this sharp stone on the flint chip to make the arrow head. So now we have an arrow. Now we're going to run down here and find our bow. Okay, so now we have a bow and arrow. Now we run through the forest and get eaten by hogs, most likely. Okay, we lived. Okay, and here's that poor goose who already gave us its feather. Lo and behold, I have come by for further destruction, and I have murdered it with my own arrow. It's fine, though. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to take this flint chip, and we're going to skin the goose. I'm going to come out here and grab another firewoods. Okay, let's get back inside. We're starting to age a little bit, so I need to keep my eye on that. We're going to turn this into kindling here. Come on now. I don't want to stay too close to the fire there, because that will make me very hungry very quickly. Okay, so now we have a regular fire. This large slow fire is going to take a while to burn down. Okay, where are my tongs? Way down here. Let's not have it that way. Alright, so let's make some more steel then. Okay, let's grab this, and we're going to make a file. There it is. Oh, we're already full. That's fine. Okay, so where was that skewer? Here it is. Let's skewer this goose, and then let's get ready to cook it. Perfect. That works for me. And we're going to need some more kindling. I know that there's a few branches right around here. Oh, come on now. Nope. Keep your hat on, Grandma. Okay, so that's where we want that. And then a full firewood is what we need for the fire now. Which I should bring the axe up and just chop some of these trees that are nearby. That would be the ideal use of our time there. Done? Okay. Let's get even more charcoal going. Now, this isn't entirely efficient. For this example, every time you fire up the kiln, you probably ought to have some bowls or plates around to cure. If not, it's not the end of the world, but generally speaking, to be as efficient as possible, that is what you need to do. Okay, I think we're done with the plates and bowls for now. I think that's all I need for what we're going to do next. Okay, so you get the cooked goose and you rub it on the file blank, and this turns it into an oiled file blank. It's one thing that doesn't make any sense to me, but it's just the way that it is. I know that duck and geese are very greasy and oily, and so that type of meat is probably what inspired him to do it that way. But for me, it's just strange to think about. And it has to be a full goose. You can tell that it uses half a charge of the goose, but I can't now take this and oil another file with it. It has to be the whole goose. Okay, so next, we have the axe, shovel, adze, and froe. We need the chisel, and I'm going to make a couple of blade blanks. So let's get this going. The chisel is pretty early, so I'll make that one first. There it is. Now the blade blanks are after the froe, so they're pretty far down the line. There we go. After the file, as a matter of fact. And the more you do this, the faster you'll get at it, clearly, because practice, practice. Okay, so this is pretty good. We're going to take this chisel, we're going to combine it with the oiled file. We're going to take this hammer, and we're going to hit that chisel and file. That's going to turn the file into a regular steel file, okay? I don't remember what it said before, just a file blank, I think is what it was. That's not what I want. Okay, so now we can take this blade blank. Let's put these in here, just for organization's sake. There we go. Let's eat another berry already. We are getting hungry fast. So one chop. This makes a regular blade, okay? But we don't want that yet. What we need is the saw blade, just like that. Okay? And so with the saw blade, we're going to head south here. Head back inside. Okay, and we need some of these. Let's see. Is there not... Yeah, I don't think there's a basket behind here. They chopped down all of the reeds for the... Wow, for the wall. To make the adobe. Alright, this is crazy. Let's head back. There has to be something else that I need from here too, I'm sure. So we can only take back one of these. Let's grab it. I need the axe too, but you can't carry those, not even in baskets. You have to carry them one at a time. I don't even think they fit in backpacks, which clearly they should. Okay, so we use this on this. Bam! We have a saw. Now, alternative to that, we all know what this is used for, and we can see it makes a knife with a short shaft, right? If we do the two blades together, then you hit them with the smithing hammer, right? That will create a shears for shearing sheep and stuff like that. If you have three of them together here, and you make a pile of boards, put them together, I'm pretty sure you sit the boards on top of the three blade blanks. That'll make a kraut board for making sauerkraut, which is useful really late game, to be honest. You can't even really make it until late game anyway. Okay, we're going to need kindling to light up the fire again. I think that's about it, to be honest, though. That's pretty much all there is to know about blacksmithing. Just go slow, take your time, and be sure you don't pass the tool that you're looking for, because you can't go back. Shovels are the number 1 thing to make. Hoes are number 2. Axes are really great to have. Then you want the adze and fro so that you can advance from there into making carts and things like that. Yeah, then you can make the blades, as I've shown you here. So as far as I can tell, that's about all we need to know. Let's do one more run here, and we'll take a peek at what comes after the blade blank, if I can survive this long. Let me grab this, and we'll go get some iron. Oh, yeah, because I need to, we're going to need kindling again, too. Okay, so I'll take 1 iron then. We'll take 2 kindling. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to have to make charcoal at least twice. Okay, grab a berry on the way back. Also, I don't know where rail carts or rails come into the mix. I imagine that there's no other way they could be made except by the forge. But I don't know what the combination is, so this will be a little bit of an exploration to see if they are made this way. I know that the mining pick is, but I can't remember, or I don't have any experience yet with what the rails are. Okay, so there's that. We'll get that started, and it'll be to fill up one of these, I guess. While it's cooking, we do have the time to run down and grab some more iron. Well, maybe we don't. I just noticed what my hunger is at right now. Okay. We should be alright. Nope. Nope. Put that on, please. Crazy old lady. Oh, wrong one. See, whenever you try to rush, it's always going to be bad news. There we go. It's not going to tell me when I'm hungry anymore, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that manually. Oh, we may not make it, folks. We may not make it. This here. Oh yeah, it takes a while to cool down, sadly. Oh no. Oh, if I had been able to click on it properly, I might have been able to get that. But sadly, we're not going to be able to go anywhere from here. Steel ingot. Hot steel ingot. So it's not even going to show us the recipes here now. Shame. Shame. Feel free to explore it on your own, though. We did do quite a bit, though, as far as tools go. This gets you through pretty much everything. The last time that I checked, the mining pick is the last recipe. But rails and rail carts could be after that. I don't know myself. So feel free to check it out. Let me know down in the comments if this was informative, if it helped you to kind of understand a little bit better the way that forging works, just blacksmithing in general, and how to go about it. Basically, like I said, I'm going to reiterate, the shovel is number 1, the hoe is a close second, with the axe almost being tied for second. Every time you fire up the forge, it's a decent idea to make a hoe, if you have the materials available. So yeah, that's definitely the first use of iron. If you're running around and you can only ever find one iron, turn it into a pickaxe, so that when you find an iron mine, you can dig it up. Alternatively, turn it into a shovel so that you can dig wells and keep your people alive so that they can travel farther to look for more iron. But just think about it, as rationally as a person can. And yeah, I hope this was informative. I hope it was helpful. If you want to catch another episode, feel free to subscribe. Consider supporting my channel through the Patreon link down in the video description. And feel free to check out any of my other videos or playlists that you might be interested in. I thank you so much for all the time that you spend on my channel, and I hope blessings of wisdom and peace on all of you. Farewell.